Hello and welcome to our Digital Citizenship Action Plan. This presentation will be presented by Tim Lawson and John Kinzik. Digital citizenship is the quality of habits, actions, and consumption patterns that impact the ecology of digital content and communities. What this means for students is making sure they have access to and develop positive interactions in their digital communities. This includes helping them to find, access, and evaluate information to enhance their learning, helping them to collaborate and communicate with the world at large. This also means being safe and respectable when interacting with others online in whatever the capacity. Currently, mobile device usage, particularly cell phones, is prohibited in the classroom for students. With an increase in mobile device use among students and the opportunities to enhance the learning process, we would like to implement a pilot project that would allow 7th grade students to bring a mobile device or use a school-provided mobile device. This project would seek to demonstrate the educational benefit of allowing mobile device use in the classroom. Our target audience for this project would include the principal, other 7th grade staff, parents, and students. We would first discuss the project with the principal and other staff to get leadership buy-in and to develop a framework and guidelines for the project. Once we had received approval, we would then discuss the plan with parents and finally introduce the project to the students. Now let's talk about our research rationale. According to a 2011 Pew Internet Project Teen Survey, 77% of teens aged 12 to 17 had a cell phone. With so many students having access to a cell phone or other mobile device, we must embrace using them in the classroom. Another study in 2010, Project RED, was a large national study to identify and prioritize the factors that make some U.S. K-12 technology implementations perform dramatically better than others. One of its findings was that continuous access to a computing device for every student leads to an increased academic achievement and financial benefits, especially when technology is properly implemented. And then finally, in 2010, PBS Kids performed a study using their mobile app Martha Speaks with 3 to 7-year-olds. They found that children who used the app had a 31% increase in vocabulary as opposed to students who did not use it. These findings from these various studies help provide the rationale for our plan. They demonstrate that student academic achievement increases with the implementation of mobile devices in the classroom. Our first goal for this project is to prepare our students for the 21st century by engaging and embracing the technologies that they already use in their daily lives to connect with and consume media and information. Our second goal is to demonstrate that proper implementation of mobile devices into the curriculum can increase student performance on academic standards and learning outcomes. Our final goal is to model the appropriate use of technology in a digitally connected society. Students must understand that as a member of an online community, they have a responsibility to be kind, respectful, and properly protect themselves and others when connecting and collaborating. Now I'll turn it over to John to discuss the project plan.
I'm now going to walk you through the 4 action steps that we have created. Use the acronym ROPE, standing for Revise, Offer, Provide, and Educate for our action plan. First step is to revise the current cell phone policy so students are allowed to bring their mobile devices into the classroom. This would need to be reflected in the school handbook. It would need to be gone over at the end of the year, probably in multiple classrooms. If there's a back-to-school night, it could be discussed from the administration. Of course, all of this would be done after the principal and all staff members were on board with the policy changes. I think also having it posted online could be helpful as well, so students would know the change in policy. The next step is offer, and I think this is a huge part of the action steps, and this is to teach teachers about effective apps that can be used on mobile devices. If it's okay for students to have their phones in classes or other mobile devices, they need to be serving a learning purpose, and I think the best way to do that is for teachers to be strategic about their use of the phones and the mobile devices. Are they being used as an educational tool? So teaching teachers about things like Kahoot, which is shown Over here on the left side, Kahoot turns mobile devices into 4-option game boards. I've used it in my classroom. It is very engaging for students. Remind 101 is another app that I've used, and it allows teachers to communicate with students and parents, sending out text messages. I do it usually every night I give a homework assignment or I have an upcoming test. And then finally, Class Dojo is a way to manage and monitor behaviors by awarding points, and students can have the app and they can do different things with the app than they could if they didn't have that, and just be able to track their pluses and their minuses basically that they're getting in for their behavior. So I think teaching teachers about those things would be really great to incorporate into the action plan. Provide appropriate consequences for students that violate the revised cell phone plan. We've talked a lot about in digital citizenship, making smart choices, and so I think students need to be taught those what those choices could be, but there needs to be consequences for those. And I see consequences maybe being like reading an article about digital citizenship and then writing a reflection on that. This could be done at lunchtime, it could be done during detention, but obviously not just giving students a consequence and not saying anything about it, but making the consequence relate to what we're trying to teach students. Finally, just educating students on proper use of technology at the beginning of the school year, but then since this is for 7th grade students, reiterating that throughout the school year. You could do this during homeroom time or downtime that teachers would have to just be able to remind them of ethical practices when using phones. Some of that would be carried over from the current cell phone policy, such as like not taking videos in locker rooms, not sexting, those types of things that are strictly outside the scope of ethics. I think that would be important that we talk to students about that and continuously about making smart choices with their technology. So those are the 4 action steps for our plan. Our final slide just shows the sources for the images that we used, and if you would like more information about Class Dojo, Remind, or Kahoot, you can follow those links that are provided. Also, we have a couple of links to other resources that we looked at. There's a good article here about teachers using cell phones effectively in the classroom, and then the lesson plan that is available here from digitalcitizenship.net is a it's almost more like a unit plan. There's multiple lessons covering a wide range of topics about digital citizenship. Thank you.